All right, so much stuff here, kind of hard to figure out where to get started, but you got hats, jackets. I want to go through all of it. So basically what we did was we went through the tees and we picked out some of the ones that are, really stuck out to me and him, ones that he wants to talk about. This is a stack that we came up with. There's a bunch more stuff in there. Did you pull out a Lauryn Hill?
I don't think so, no.
There's Lauryn Hill's in there, but one reason I'm super excited to be here is because you got, from what I've seen, a pretty dope rap tee collection. But what's special about it and unique about it to me is you have a lot of 2000s artists, and that's like my golden era, like early 2000s, Dipset, Clips, just Jay-Z. That was like the golden era for those artists.
Right.
And so I'm excited to see what we got here. Got some good pieces right here. So should we just get started with the top one right here? All right, for sure.
Since like 6th grade, I started getting into like sneakers heavy. Had pretty much like every noteworthy like Nike SB, Jordan, and that's what I really started getting into, like fashion and clothes and stuff. And but it really happened like maybe 9th, 10th grade. I started working at a sneaker shop in Pasadena, the city I'm from, consignment store. So we all had like all the like rare sneakers, and then we started doing clothing. So we get like streetwear brands like Supreme, Babe, and stuff like that. But eventually I started going to the Rose Bowl flea market. This was about 3-4 years ago maybe now. And that's when I started really getting into vintage, because I was going there, not really knowing what to expect. And I remember I would just buy like stuff that would coincide with the sneakers. So I would get like a Michael Jordan shirt, I'd get like a Bulls shirt, Bulls snapback, starter jackets. That's the stuff that I was really starting to get into. I think that's what like a lot of people that are like new into vintage get into, like the old like basketball jerseys and stuff like that. But I was really into like starter brands, hats and everything. And just from there, buying sneakers, I was going to the Rose Bowl. I was super knowledgeable with like, authentic shoes and, fake shoes. So I was able to go there, look through like hundreds of shoes, and then leave with like 3 pairs for like, crazy price. And I think that, I started wanting to go to the Rose Bowl every month, and I would save my money and go to Rose Bowl. I have like $80 to go to the Rose Bowl every week, because I was working like 1 day a week at my job and shit. But so I started just getting into clothes, because it's all there. Like there's only so many sneakers you could look through at the flea market, and then you start seeing like just racks and racks of clothes. So I started getting into that more, and then it really, like I said, once I got like that Lauryn Hill shirt, that's when it was over.
All right, so this one right here is one that I picked out because just shine. I don't know, do you come across a lot of shine stuff?
This is the only, I seen the first promo tee he did, but it's kind of whack.
Yeah.
So this is like the ill shine t-shirt like that you don't ever see really.
So this is for the album that he did when he was already locked up, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So just a big face of him on the front. Got a quote of his on the back. Super dope. Yeah, so you just don't see much merch of his. And you said that you had a shirt from like his first album, but it was whack. What did it just have?
Yeah, it just said like said shine on the back, and the front was like the Bad Boy logo. I mean, it's cool, but like,
yeah. I was gonna say something like that would still be dope to have, just to have that from that time, the original album. But yeah, I feel like you would want to have like the actual album artwork on the front.
Yeah, I feel like the Godfather album was better too, though.
Yeah, this album was?
Yeah, I like that one better.
Yeah, production-wise, it was definitely
fire.
Yeah. All right, so this one right here. Yeah. So when we saw this one in the pile, I was like, is this like a con art Cameron kind of like parody?
It was
or?
like a real early Cameron logo, and this shirt was hard as hell to find. But then one day, 247 Thrift, he alley-ooped it to me, and I was like, yo, I've been looking for this. Like, this is Confessions of Fire Cameron. Like, because he told me, he's like, yo, some dude just found a Cam tee, and it was like, I was like, oh, word? And he was all like, yeah, it's like, I think it's early 2000s. I was like, oh, what's it look like? He's like, it's red, and it has like the oval. I was like, yo, that's the first Cam tee. Like, I need that. So this one was crazy, and in the back got like the Confessions of Fire hit on it.
Shit.
The entertainment logo.
Great condition too.
Crazy. Yeah.
So this one was found by another Stash Raiders guest.
Yes, sir.
24/7 Thrift. That's crazy.
And I hooked him up too. I told him, I was like, yo, I owe you one for that, and I hooked him up on a tee. I gave him like a huge discount.
That's awesome. Yeah. So what do we got right here? So this is one that you picked out. So tell us about this.
I actually picked these three out. So it's this wool joint, and the back says only built for Cuban links too. And then it's the Killer Priest, the offering shirt, signed by Killer Priest. Sheesh. And then the Chef Raekwon Cuban links 2 shirt. So these three are special because my dad actually gave me these.
Oh shit.
And it was crazy because I didn't really know my dad was even into this type of stuff. You feel me? Because I grew up with my mom, but I would see my dad like once a week growing up. Mm-hmm. And I remember like he was into like Rick James. Like this is the stuff I remember listening to, like stuff like that. And I remember he would play like Liquid Swords every now and then, but I never heard him play Raekwon. And one day, like once I started getting really heavy into the selling and stuff, he hit me up. He said, yo, I think I got some like Raekwon shirts from the 90s. And I was like, oh shit, like that's like some of my favorite stuff. So he showed me, and they were the 2000s joints. They're like 2002, 2004, but it was crazy. It was like, I didn't know he was into that, and it was kind of special. And he gave them to me initially so I could sell them. He's like, oh yeah, try to flip them, and then if you sell them, just like break me off a little bit. But I was like, nah, this is too ill that you gave these to me. Like, I'm gonna hold on to them. Yeah. So I just kept the 3 of them.
Yeah. There's a certain aesthetic too to like 2000s tees where they have this quality to them. They're always gonna be like double stitch, and they're, for some reason, they're always like 2XL, 3XL, because that was a style like early 2000s. It was the big Soulja Boy t-shirts.
You always wore like a size or 2 sizes big, you know, and you had the baggy jeans.
Even the XL, like the Pro Club XL, was actually a 2XL.
Right,
yeah.
Right. Definitely.
So yeah, these are dope, very important. Love these.
It was just like a time in my life where like I'm just trying to find like what I like and shit, like, you know, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, you know. And I think the hip hop stuff is just like what kind of took over, you know. Like I just moved to like downtown with the Thrift Lord, you know, and that's just what I got into. And it was weird because I was going to the bins and stuff, and I was going to flea markets, but I was always more of like a really like picky, like selective person. Like if I would find like a $10 t-shirt, I wouldn't pick it up at the bins. I would give it to somebody else, you know, or it would really have to be something special that I knew for sure I could make money on, or something special that I knew I wasn't gonna sell and I was gonna keep. And the stuff that I would keep was hip hop stuff. So that's just how I really got there. And then the bootlegs was kind of like my style at the beginning. Like I said, the Lauryn Hill shirt was the first one, so that style kind of just became like what I liked. You know, I liked how it looked on me, you know, and everything like that. But then once I got into the promo tees, it took over, you know. Right here, this is the War Report shirt. If you don't know, it's a must-listen album. This is top 5 album for me all time. And when I tell people that, they think I'm fucking crazy, but this shit is the craziest. Like the production, the rhymes, the features on it, like it just meshes so crazy. Like I think it's like the best, like, you know, when they say like mafioso rap, it's like the best mafioso rap album for me personally. And when I found this, I was bugging. My homie had it, and he did like promotions in the 90s, so he would call like the radio stations like, yo, can you throw on like the War Report, like LA, like that was his job. So they would break them off with like t-shirts, stickers and stuff, and I I was going to his house like once a month for like a year trying to get this t-shirt. Like, yo, like, you ready to sell that War Report shirt? And one day recently he told me, he's like, yeah. He's like, yo, I'll sell it to you. So it took like a year for me to get it, but I finally got it, and it's one of my favorite tees.
That's crazy. So did anything else come out of his collection? Because if he was doing promos, he must have had a ton of stuff.
I mean, he had a lot of stuff. Not too much stuff that I was like really like, I need that. But I definitely got like 2-3 pieces off of him that I'll probably never sell. Yeah.
Wow. So I gotta check in with this album because I've actually never been familiar with Capone and Noriega stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, this specific album, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was like the debut joint, but they were just going crazy on it. Like the other albums has always been like whatever to me.
Yeah.
But the War Report album, like them, Traj, Imam Thug, like they all went crazy on it.
That's crazy. All right, that's dope. All right, so this one right here is funny because this was the first shirt you picked out, and I also picked out a Clips shirt. We might as well just knock them both out together while they're here. So you picked that one out because this one was in his pile, and this one was in my pile. And when we kind of laughed when we both pulled them out. But one thing is, like I was saying, I love your collection because it's got like the early 2000s artists, and for me, when I think of early 2000s hip hop, I think of like Jay-Z, I think of Clips, I think of like Pharrell, and Clips is just one of those artists that they started in that time, killed it in that time, and they're still killing shit to this day. Well, at least Pusha is, you know what I mean? Right. And you just never see any Clips merch, and they just had so many bangers, and in the early 2000s, they were really killing it.
So go ahead. That's their For the Hell Hath No Fury album. So that one's a little later on, but this one right here I picked out because this is from the first album. It's from the debut joint.
Wow.
So it's got the front and the back.
Got the Star Trek on it. Because they were all, like pretty much 100% produced by Star Trek.
Right. Pharrell, yeah. I mean, the back is crazy. Like, that's one of the best back prints on a t-shirt I ever seen. That beat exactly. Like, when you read that, when you read it, exactly.
So, that's hard. All right. And so this right here is some really, really rare stuff. We got actually another couple pieces that kind of pertain to this. And I'll pull them out while you get into that one.
Yeah, this is it's the classic basketball logo, premium pastel shirt, early 2000s Kanye West. He was doing this brand. It was short-lived. He had a few sample pieces, and it never really got out there like that. I got this from someone off Instagram. I'm keep him on the low. He's the homie. Everybody knows him, but he also has another one, so I'm trying to get that one day. You feel me? But he did some photography, I think, for Chris Julian. Yeah. Who was running all the samples back in the day for pastel, and I think he just said, like, instead of paying me, like, if you could just break me off with the pastel shirts, and he did it. So that's how he got them, and then I just bought it off the person he sold it to. So.
Yeah. So this is like this is an early brand of Kanye's, right?
Yep.
And was this ever in stores?
I think they recently. Like he gave the rights or whatever to Ian Connor, and I think he did a release with it. Mm-hmm. But as far as this being like the original like sample, like these never got out like that. Wow.
So that's how crazy it is. So when the dude that you got it from did like a photography job, he just took this as payment because you pretty much can't get your hands on this.
Right. He knew what he was doing. Yeah,
that's
definitely.
Crazy. It's a really dope brand too. Like just off that graphic, you know what I mean? And then this is, so did this come before or is this after?
I think this is a little bit after because this is like the Muscat. If you see like his like 09 tees, it'll say like Muscat Holdings on it. Mm-hmm. So that was like his LLC. But this was like super rare. Like I don't even know how many of these they made exactly, but I've heard stories it was like in the like 10, 15 range, like something like that. I don't know if there's how much truth there is to that, but I know it's super rare, and I know it's the only one I've seen for sale. Yeah. And my homie, he found it in his storage, and I don't remember how he got it, but he found it in his storage one day. And I was like, "Yo, I need that." The homie on Instagram, and he told me he'd been bugging me for one of my Firm T-shirts. Yeah. And that's like one of my favorite albums. But I was like, I have another one, so I was like, oh man. So I did the trade. that's a trade that always hurt me. Like I kind of regret it, but then like I know I got something ill in return, but you know how that goes, man.
Yeah, you had to really,
trade, you know?
yeah, you had to give up a big piece to get a
Right.
big piece in return.
Exactly.
This is crazy because I've never seen this before. So it looks like, so it says Muscat by K West, and then
the little drop-out
I
bear.
guess he was using the little bear as like a logo for it.
Right. And it was always kind of like, you can see here too, like it was always there. And on a lot of the sample pieces that are like not the t-shirts, like the polos they had with this design, they always got like this pink lining, and they're all made in Peru on the inside tag. It's something I noticed. So when someone actually thrifted this, and he sent me some pictures, and I saw it was made in Peru, I was like, oh yeah, that's a sample. You know, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
And I actually heard this one was actually produced by Rockaware, like as far as like the fabrics or whatever. But crazy piece, definitely.
Yeah, it's a good piece, good size too, because especially since you say it was produced by Rockaware, because back in that time they were doing like that 2XL.
Yeah.
Anytime I find Rockaware now, it's like 2XL, 3XL. Right. Speaking of Rockaware, we got this piece right here. So this is one that I picked out because I feel like you can't talk about 2000s rap without talking about this man right here. This is the GOAT, Jay-Z, one of his best albums. I was just on a kick right now listening to the Black Album, though. Black Album is one of my favorite albums.
Yeah.
But yeah, crazy Jay-Z piece right there.
The blueprint. This is actually a tour tee, so the back has like a few few shows he did. So this is also probably like a parking lot bootleg, but it's an ill one, you know. Like it looks like an official piece, you know.
Yeah. And of course, in the classic 2XL, gotta have that in the 2XL.
And it's actually on like an older tee. You see, it's like single stitched or whatever, you know.
Yeah, it is single stitch. That's crazy. That's pretty dope. Belly, so classic movie when it comes to hip hop. Yeah, pretty much just a part of hip hop as like any artist, you know, from that time. So how'd you get your hands on this one?
How did I get my hands on this one? Shit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to remember that. Yo, I don't even remember, dog.
Which one of these was like the hardest to get your hands on?
T-shirts?
Yeah.
Probably like the Capone and Noriega shirt, just because there was so much persistence involved. Like, it's crazy. I was literally going to his house for like a year, yo, like popping in every now and then, like, yo, just whenever you want to sell that, like, yeah, for real. And that's a shirt that mad people hit me up for, like a bunch of collectors, like that I would think have seen this or have had it, and they even hit me up like, yo, if you ever sell that Capone and Noriega shirt, let me know, like, yeah. And that was like a shock to me because it was like the type of people that hitting me up. I was like, yo, this got to be some rare shit, you know, like, yeah.
All right, so this one right here, we're coming on the first like rap tee, like bootleg style, you know, that people think of when you say rap tee. They think of, you know, the big graphic like this one, big colorful graphic. But this one's wild to me because it's an AZ, and AZ is just dope. You know, yeah. I heard about him through, you know, the work that he did with Nas, and then after that, I went on an AZ trip for a while. I had like a phase, you know what I mean? And just really super talented, super hip hop vibe, like New York underground sound, and you have a T-shirt of it. So yeah. It's crazy to see this.
The AZ bootleg's crazy. I had to trade a banger to get that, and actually someone kind of like unearthed like 3 or 4 of these at the same time, and I knew, like, I was like, yo, I haven't seen this shirt pop up like in the 4 years I've been doing this, 4 or 5 years I've been doing this, and I was like, yeah, I gotta grab that immediately. AZ, one of my favorite rappers, top 5 rapper for me. It's just a smooth style. That's like what I'm into, you know, like the Nas, AZ style, like real smooth, ill beats, like the jazz production, like the Pete Rock shit. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, they have just those bars that just like keep jabbing, you know what I mean? They're pretty dope. Yeah, and then I feel like to do these kind of, like, this is kind of like all the bootlegs are kind of like Fanimation, in that whoever makes them is like choosing the photos that they want and the colors, and like they choose to put money in the background. Like, you got to be a fan to make this, you know? And
it's actually crazy now that I'm getting more into like the photography aspect and stuff. Like, these are actually like Danny Hastings pics and shit, like, and I actually have like the front pic like on like a press photo, and it's like, it's crazy. You see all of that, and like you read the magazines, you'll see these pictures they use, like you'll pick up like a Source magazine and you'll see all the like bootleg images that they use, and you could tell they just copy and paste it from this magazine or whatever. They cut it out, copy and pasted it, and just put the ill lettering or whatever. But I mean, I was collecting the bootlegs heavy, like, you know, like 2-3 years ago. I mean, you remember,
Yeah.
it was like the only thing I was wearing at one point, you know. And then I eventually got to the point where, like, all right, I'm just gonna keep the promo tees, and I really sold all my bootlegs. I just kept like the Nas, AZ, and Mobb Deep ones, because those are the ones that I really cared about, you know.
Yeah, you did have a bunch of bootlegs. And then, so like, what was that? What made you want to say, like, I want to go with more of the licensed, authentic stuff over the bootleg stuff?
For a lot of reasons. One, I feel like these are going to be the timeless ones, you know, like when it's all said and done, like 10, 15 years from now, the promo tees are going to be the ones that it looks like the album artwork and it stands out, you know, opposed to the bootlegs. It kind of, like, after a while, like, that look started kind of getting corny to me, you know, and I was wearing them every day, and I was like, it's not really like my style anymore. I'm trying to get like the more clean, you know, that's always been my style, like the clean, you know, black pants, denim jeans, like, you know, simple, you know.
Yeah.
So the promo tees kind of just blends better with my personal style.
Yeah. And there's something also like super authentic about wearing a piece that came from that time, probably, you know, directly from the marketing team.
And a lot of times, like, you know, the promo tees, I'll have like a story to go with it, because the people that I get them from, they were actually there, you know. So that's always a plus for me too.
That's crazy.
Right.
Yeah. So that's another thing is chopping it up with you over time, like about the different pieces that you have. You've told me like, oh, this guy used to work for, you know, this label back in the day, or like the other piece, the Capone Noriega, the dude worked for a promotional company and he would call into the radio stations. So are a lot of these pieces from people that you know that used to work in the industry?
A lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of them from people that from the industry. And I normally get like 2 or 3 t-shirts from a person. I never really get lucky and buy like a whole collection for like the low or whatever.
Yeah.
But so pretty much, yeah. They all have a story, and sometimes it's hard as a motherfucker to get the shirts off of them, you know.
Yeah.
And it just takes persistence, you know. I got a lot of patience with it.
Yeah. So like, without giving away too much, how do you come across these people? Like, how do you find these people?
I mean, I'm actually there. Like, you know, like you go to these events and stuff, like all these hip hop events. You know, you go to like an album release, and you'll see people there, and you know they compliment your shirt. You know, you start getting in a conversation. It's really just being out there. You know, like if you. The thing is, I'm not going to the thrift stores like that, you know? Like, I'm out here, I'm talking to people, meeting people every day, and then, you know, I might buy something off of an OG or whatever. He might sell me 2 or 3 pieces, but, oh, you know, my homeboys got stuff from back in the day, too. Maybe I can see if they're down to sell it, and then they'll break you off, you know? Like, it's always, like, little things like that, you know?
Yeah. So the one that you're wearing right now, tell us about the one you got on.
Oh, this one's actually crazy, because this is actually the first time I ever Western Union somebody to buy a t-shirt. I don't know if you ever Western Union somebody, but my heart was beating. They were telling me like, are you sure that you know this person is a friend or family? Like, you
and those questions just make you even more nervous.
It makes you way more nervous. They're like, yo, are you sure you know? She literally checked me like 4 times. She was like, are you sure you know the person? Are you sure you know? I'm all like, yeah, I know. And it wasn't cheap, but like it was a good price for like a Big L shirt. I feel like.
Long sleeve too. That's just pretty dope.
And this is actually the shirt that they gave out for his funeral. So this is like a friends and family show, like type of thing. Because they had I believe I was told they had a show, like for like around the time of his funeral, like to like I don't know, fundraise or whatever. But this is actually for the funeral, and if you see, it says like the day he was born and then the day he passed. So this is kind of like his wake t-shirt, and I got it from an old DJ who used to run with Digging in the Crates. And it was his personal shirt from back in the day. He kept it, and he literally still wore it to the day, and I saw him wearing it, and I was like, yo, if you ever sell that, like, you know, please let me know. And he gave me a price. I hit the Western Union, you know, heart beating, sent him the bread, and then I was waiting those 2-3 days. I was like, man, I might get scammed, but might have to take that one on the chin. And then it finally came, and it was just like, oh, man.
Yeah, man of his word. That's cool.
Man of his word, yeah.
But you were like, dude, I got to take that risk.
I knew. I literally said, I was like, you know, I'm not going to take the risk if it's not worth me losing the money. You feel me? I'm all like, I know that this is something I probably won't see again. So I was like, I'm going to take the chance. And if I lose it, I lose it. If I don't, then I get the, you know, the ill Big L shirt. You feel me?
Have you ever been scammed on a piece, though?
Yo.
It happens, huh?
I've been scammed by literally not too many times, actually, you know, like maybe 3-4 times. I mean, I've been buying for like 4 or 5 years, like every day of my life. You know, it's not bad. But, yo, one time, I'm not going to put his name out there, you know, because I got nothing but respect for the man even after this, you know. But actually, a rapper scammed me for a piece. a rapper. He was a rapper in the 90s. He was in a group, and they were a younger group. And, you know, they were always wearing, like, fly gear back in the day. And he actually had pictures of him, like, in a Dapper Dan suit, like a little Fendi one. And he was probably, like, 16, 17 at the time. And I was like, yo, that's fire. And then we started talking about it. I started just talking to him through the DM, like, and we started talking. I was like, yo, if you still have that, like, if you ever find that, like, yo, would you be down to sell it? Like, just, like, throw it out there. And he's all like, oh, yeah, I'll sell it. He's like, I know where it is right now. He's like, yo, send me $200. I'm like, all right, bet. Sent him the $200, and I was like, all right, let me know when you send it. Didn't send it.
Damn.
2 days.
He was really about that crook shit.
2-3 days go by. 2-3 days go by. Didn't send it. I was like, oh man, he got me, yo. And then he was like, nah, I didn't get you. He's like, yo, I just been mad busy. And shit went on for like 2 weeks, and I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna just take my loss. I was like, you a grown ass man, you know what you're doing. I'm gonna fall back, yo. But yeah, it was crazy because I was like, man, this dude, like, he was big, you feel me? Like, fuck it, whatever.
Well, at least he got scammed by someone famous.
You know, it's a cool story.
Yeah. Not like some, like, pimple-faced teenager or someone.
And again, it was like, I was gonna get, like, a Dapper Dan jacket for $200, which is like, it would have been crazy. So I was like, I'm gonna take the risk, even though I was kind of sketched out by it, because I'm like, $200, like, unless he just wants to get rid of this shit, you know, like, but yeah. If it's too good to be true, it's probably true. You feel me?
So that's your advice to anybody that is trying to get something they really want.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a few years ago, I was getting a lot of messages like, yo, what do you think about this price? You know, like, and I would help them out. I haven't really got those messages like that anymore. I think people are finally, you know, starting to catch on more and more. But, you know, just be smart about what you're buying. You know, if it looks off, you know, make sure you could hit up, you know, me. You could hit up any other big collectors. I'm pretty sure they'll tell you, like, if something looks real or not. If the price is too good, it could just be a good price, but then you also got to be aware, you know, you could, you know, get got, you know. Right. So the installation started about, I believe the Kanye West one was in December of last year. That was the first installation I ever did, and basically it was just, I wanted to have a showcase with all of these t-shirts that I was also trying to get rid of, because I had like amassed like 50 Kanye West t-shirts at the time, and I only could fit like 6 of them maybe. So I was like, let me get rid of the ones that I don't want, but like, I was like, this is a lot of stuff, so let me do it in a cool way. So I wanted to have like a bunch of tees and, you know, magazines, stuff that people could talk about. And I feel like Kanye West doing it at the store I did it at, which was the sneaker shop I've been working at since I was in high school. I feel like Kanye West and sneakers, like, it ties in well together, especially, you know, the Yeezys were popping and stuff like that. So I knew like it would have a good reaction with our customers, and then it would bring a lot of attention to the shop, which, you know, was also good for me. Add that 4%, it'll save you.
So this one right here, so you picked this one out. So
Right.
I'm actually not too familiar with Conar. I know that they're like a streetwear, like hip hop brand from the 90s.
I'm very familiar, so
Okay,
I
put
can
me on,
definitely
put me
help you out, you know. So Conar was actually, if you turn it back around,
Yes, sir.
so this right here, this logo is Ash, and this is the creator of Conar. He went to Fairfax High School with my boy, who sold me that CNN shirt, so I learned a lot about this. So Ash is actually Slash's brother from Guns N' Roses.
Oh shit, Guns N' Roses?
From Guns N' Roses.
Oh shit.
Right. So Ash, he started up this hip hop brand, and of course, you know, he's like the king of rock at the time, you know. So he kind of wanted to branch off into hip hop, so he was giving it a lot to, like, you know, you saw people, Craig Mack, Biggie, Mobb Deep, they were all wearing this back in the day, and it became like a big brand in the LA scene, the Melrose area, Fairfax area especially. Like, it's crazy, like the place you sell at every week is where Conar was born. Like, he literally went to Fairfax High School, and he was selling this stuff out of his backpack in the early years.
Yeah, wow, that's sick.
And this is actually one of the earliest Conar pieces,
That's crazy. Shout out Ash and Slash.
Yeah, no doubt, shout out to Ash.
So this is one that I picked out right here. So Big L, one of my favorite artists of all time. Another artist that I just kind of had like an obsession with at one point. Just had like a whole time of my life where I was just playing everything he ever made.
Right.
This is like the logo from Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous era. So this one says big ups to the Baker Boys for putting it on Friday night flavors 8 to 2 a.m. So this is like a promo probably from the radio
Baker
station.
Boys, Friday Night Flavors.
When they used to play it 3X.
It's a trip because I showed this to the Baker Boys and they were like, "Yo, you got that? Like, come on, man."
Excellent condition too. And this one, made in USA, single stitch. Because this album came out like, what was it? Is it mid or late 90s?
I think it was like 95.
95, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's crazy piece of hip hop history right there. And again, this is one that doesn't have like a graphic of his face on it or anything like that. It has, the lettering and all that, but it's amazing because it's authentic. It's from that time.
There's actually a picture of Big L wearing it, but only the front. So it says like the Power 106 logo on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Baker Boys are mad cool. They're LA legends.
Yeah.
They did the radio big in the '90s, and yo, this fucking dog, yo. Come on, Salt Crow. Why you let him back in here?
All right, so the firm. So this one right here was in my pile. I was picking it out, and then you were like, yo, you got to see the back on this one. So we'll get to the back right now. But the firm was basically a group that consisted of, it was Nas, Foxy Brown, right?
Mm-hmm.
AZ was in there.
And Nature.
Was Big in there too?
Nah.
He just did like a song with them, right?
Nah, Big didn't. He wasn't on that album. Noriega was on that album.
Yeah.
Nature was on the album. Cormega was supposed to be on the album, but he wasn't on the album.
Mm-hmm. So that's who the firm is, and I'll let you get into the back right here.
The back's crazy. I mean, like I said, AZ and Nas are two of my, top 5. And, just to have them both on the back of a T-shirt is crazy, And this is like one of their more iconic photo shoots, and it's got the bootleg colors, but this is actually a promo T-shirt.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy that they went that route.
Yeah.
In the front, just the classic firm logo.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite T-shirts, definitely.
That's crazy. So this right here, is this artwork on the album? Like, is it the album cover or anything, or is this just a photo of them?
It's actually not. I don't think this is a shoot for I believe the Source magazine.
I love this one.
Yeah.
This is great. That frame, the colors, the 3 of them on the back,
right,
and then that big bold logo on the front. This is great. This is one that, like, if I ever came across it, I'd probably have to just hold on to it. It's a good size too, large.
Yeah,
it's good.
Definitely.
On a really good tag too. I feel like this tag gets slept on. Like, people think it's
thick collar, super thick collar. Yeah.
This is a great one. It's dope. All right, so this one right here, another one that I haven't looked at the back of yet. I just saw it. R.I.P. Phife Dawg. Super dope piece. Even if it just for this, you know what I mean? Right. But so let's go ahead and open it up. So tell us about this one.
So this is the Phife Dawg. This is his solo album project. I believe it was the year 2000. And it's funny because this is like one of the times I actually bought someone's like whole collection, and he just sent me like a big box of like promo T-shirts, and he actually kept this one. He didn't sell me it, and he had a Prodigy headband, HNIC headband, and the shirts he sold me were like cool, like there was a couple bangers in there, but like the headband and this one would have been like the ones that set it off, like oh, like this was crazy. So when he showed me pictures of them, he's like, yeah, I got these too, but I can't sell them. Like these are my personal ones. Like he's like, yo, Phife Dawg gave me this shirt, like I can't sell it. And I was like, oh man, I feel you. I was like, so I always tell people like, yo, like if you ever want to sell it, like let me know. And I normally just leave them be. Normally they never hit me back up, but this guy hit me up like a few months later. He's like, yo, like I'm down to sell the Phife Dawg T-shirt.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, let's get it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he said this was actually given to him by Phife?
Right.
Wow.
It was actually given to him by Phife Dawg.
That's crazy. All right, so again, I love the promo tees that you got. You said you don't really do the rap tees, like the big colorful rap tees, but this is a Nas rap tee.
We make exceptions,
Yes.
We make exceptions.
All right, so this one says when worlds collide, Nas on the front. And you actually have a few of these. We only picked out a couple of ones that we just picked this one out because I wanted to have one in here to talk about, but you got a few Nas rap tees in here. And you actually just recently did like an exhibition, right? Nas exhibition.
Did a Nas installation for the 25th anniversary of Illmatic at Tried and True. I did it with my boy Esco, back in the days vintage. If you don't know who that is, definitely check his page out. One of the best pages in the game. He's been doing this for about 15 years, so no doubt. Yeah.
So for someone who missed the Nas installation that you did, like I did, what did they miss? What did I miss?
Oh man, you missed out, man. You missed out. It was a lot of promo T-shirts, a lot of bootleg shirts, but we really went into it. We wanted to give people we wanted people to walk in and then leave with some knowledge, you know. So we had we had maybe like 40 magazines, Nas magazines, a bunch of promo stickers, posters, never before seen photos. We had like full-size prints on photos. It was a dope event, and we had DJ Julian Ramirez spinning the event. So it was dope. It was a dope turnout.
Yeah. That one, from the photos that I saw, it was different from, because you also did a Kanye West installation.
Right.
And it was different from the Kanye West installation because the Kanye West, you had like, you know, all the merch and, you know, the t-shirts and stuff like that. But I think you took it a step further with the Nas one. You had like photos, like you said, magazines, and just like,
I mean, I think
like a fan out.
Right. I think it's important to, you know, to keep growing, you know. So the next event we do, we're planning some events next year. Me and Esco. I think we're always gonna try to like make the next one better than the last one.
Right.
You know, even if like we really outdid ourselves on a Nas event, I think it's always better to just push yourself a little bit, you know, to have a goal to reach, you know, to keep like, you know, on the right track. Right.
And that's really special. Like, what motivates you and drives you to do these installations, Kanye, Nas, and whatever you're gonna do in the future?
Well, as far as like what motivates me, you know, just being a fan of the work, you know. This is stuff that I've been listening to for the past 6-7 years of my life. So, and then as far as like doing it like bigger and better, I think I'm just at a point where like I don't really want to put my effort into anything unless it's like it's worth it or I do it the right way, you know, personally. Right. Yeah.
So it sounds like you get a kick out of just like collecting this stuff of people that you really admire, sharing it with people.
I mean, it's cool, man. I mean, we had people coming to the event, like, and it's a small event, you know. It's a small room. You do like a quick walk around. Most people, they're in there for like 5 minutes, you know. But then for the people that go in there and they're in there for like 3 hours, you know, they're reading every magazine, every article, asking questions about everything on the wall.
Right.
That's why we do the event.
So you get a kick out of seeing people enjoy what you have a passion for.
Exactly.
Awesome. That's dope. All right, so another rap tee right here, and again, this is another rap tee that I'm sure you kept, and the same reason I had to pull it out amongst these promos is because they're super rare.
Right. Yeah.
So this is a Mobb Deep one. So how'd you come across this one?
I believe his name's Brooklyn Vintage on Instagram. He just had it in his storage for who knows how long, and he hit me up and he said, "Yo, I got mad people overseas hitting me up, but like if you want it." It's like, yo, just give me, you know, X amount of dollars. And I just sold a few tees that day, like quick on Instagram. I was like, yo, quick little story sale, sold a couple tees and then got this one. And then I knew it was something I'll probably never sell. This is probably the most asked about t-shirt that I get the most DMs for. And I always tell people like, yo, sorry, I'm not selling it. You know, it's not the crew neck that's floating around, you know, the bullshit crew neck.
Yeah. That always seems to be dead stock for some reason.
Oh yeah, I wonder why.
Print. So this one's crazy because it's a boot graphic, but it's got a date on it, which usually means that it's like copyrighted and stuff. But
it was weird. Some of the Bay Clubs were doing a printed in the USA. My guess would be that it's the same person that made those designs.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like his trademark on it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of bootlegs don't have the printed in 95 or printed in whatever. But some of them did. Like I had like a Mike Tyson one with that that I could think of.
And this one's cool. This one's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably one of my favorite like album artwork shoots as far as photography goes. Like Chimo dude just went crazy with this, the front and the back, like the album insert, like all of the photography for this album was just like next level.
Yeah.
Like you could literally takes you right there, like to the projects. It was crazy.
I love that you know the name of the photographer too, because you said that on another tee.
Right.
Like you know who took the photos and all. That's crazy. And this is just a shirt that I think even if like you don't even listen to hip hop, like you could be a country music fan and you know what Shook Ones is by Mobb Deep. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right, this one right here I picked out again because I don't know why, to me the Nas artwork is just so sacred. You know what I mean? It's like that's a legendary artist of the genre. And to find his merch, especially like not even just bootleg merch, but like to find the official merch, like this is for this album. The album wasn't even out yet, so this was just like giving the date for the album, or just
like
saying like
promotional,
promo.
It's coming soon type of tee.
Yeah, exactly. One of my favorite tags, Fruit of the Loom. So, yeah, had to pick that one out. This one's crazy. And also, I feel like this one's got a good wearability too. Like if you just wear it out with like, it'll just look dope with like some jeans and some kicks. Simple. You know? Yeah. Okay, so here, this one I picked out because Diplomats, again, legends of the early 2000s. At least that's when I was banging them the most, you know. Classic 3XL tag.
It has to be.
For sure.
It can't be any less.
Yeah,
you know?
this was like some academics jeans, maybe.
Right,
Some
right.
Tims. That was the look. So yeah, Diplomats. And this one right here is sick too. So tell me about this one, because this one looks like...
This is just one of those like early 2000s street tees, you know, swap meet style. But I mean, they were into this stuff too, though. Like, I feel like they would be wearing this in the early 2000s as well. So, I mean, it's probably just, you could have got it at the mall, the swap meet, you know, it's cheap bootleg, you know, it doesn't really sell for much, but it's just something I think's cool. You know?
Yeah, it's just dope. It's just of that time. And I'm old, so I remember it in the swap meets at that time too.
Got a Def Jam jacket. So these were like given to artists, staff, you know, anybody really that was in the Def Jam offices, photographers, janitors, anybody. From what I heard, from stories that I've heard from like the OGs I bought them off of, you would get one. So they would give everyone one, and if you wanted an extra one or another one for somebody else or whatever, it would cost you $250, even back then. So that was crazy. So to have one of these was like, it was a big deal in New York, you know?
Yeah, okay, so tell me how you have two then.
I have three.
Oh, shit.
I have three. I mean, I don't know. It's just stuff I was really looking for like a good period of time. And I think if you're looking for something and you're really like actually looking for it every day, like you'll find it eventually. And I've had 4 of them and I still have 3 of them.
Wow.
They're all like size medium and large. And then this is the one that like kind of fits me, but not really.
Yeah.
Michael on the front, probably just like a random worker there. One of these is cool though, because this one right here. So it says Pump It Up on it. And this is actually D Barnes' jacket, the host of the show Pump It Up.
Right.
And this is crazy because it actually has her name taken out of it. So it said D Barnes right here.
Yeah.
But they ripped it out with like a knife. So what happened was, I don't know if you're familiar with the
With
Dr.
the knife
Dre.
or did it get slapped off?
With the knife, yeah. So you're familiar. So it's fucked up, but you know there was a Dr. Dre incident. I don't think we got to go into it. If you want, you know, feel free to look it up. It's really easy to find. But there was an incident in the '90s with Dr. Dre and D Barnes, and I guess that Russell Simmons or whoever was running Def Jam at the time had offered this to D Barnes, like, you know, like, oh, I'm sorry that happened to you. That's fucked up. Like, you know, take this Def Jam jacket. You know, she said.
Really?
Threw it on the floor, and then my homie's standing right here the whole time, and he's all like, they walk away, and he's all like, shit, I'll take it, you know, take it. He picked it up, kept it for like 20 years, and then I think he cut the name out of it.
Yeah.
Because he was gonna put his name.
Yeah.
But you know, he never did it, and then he just kept his other one because he still had one. Like I said, you got one, but if you wanted the extra one, you had to pay $250. So he's like, I'm not gonna pay $250. I'll just cut it out and put my name. But he never did. Yeah.
So he was there when she threw it on the ground. He was like,
exactly. Yeah, he was there. Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's crazy.
Get into this. This is crazy right here. This is my favorite movie of all time. And to have the cast and crew jacket for it is just crazy. And what's really wild is this is actually Vontae's jacket.
Wow.
And Vontae he played Sharif, the Muslim. So I didn't know how small he was, you know, when I met him in person, you know, I was like, oh shit, this is like a smaller medium.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. I hit him up for it like maybe like a year and a half ago.
I think I saw you post that. Like, didn't you link up with him and like?
Exactly. I hit him up for it like a year and a half ago. I was like, yo, if you ever want to sell that Menace to Society jacket, because he had posted it and it got like no love on it. So I was like, yo, if you ever want to sell that jacket, like, yo, I collect this type of stuff. Like, that's crazy. I didn't like, you know.
Yeah.
And he just left it be. And he really didn't hit me up until like 8 months later, randomly.
Yeah.
And he literally hit me up like ready to sell, like come pick it up today. Like he's like, yo, if you pick it up today, like I'll give it to you for like this. Gave me a crazy super low love price. Like,
wow. I
was like, yo, man, like I appreciate you. I went all the way. I drove to Compton.
Yeah.
And I met him at like a McDonald's or something, and he pulled up on a bike, like yo, what's up, Chico? And I'm all like, oh my god, like this is really happening. He pulled it out of his backpack, and he actually. On top of that, he actually sold me this jacket as well. So he was actually in both movies. He took the kids' football in Boys in the Hood. Yeah. He took Ricky's football.
Wow. Wow.
And then this one, the crazy front, you know. Rest in peace, John Singleton.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah. So these are like two of my prized possessions, you know. My two of my favorite hood. These are like the type of movies I'm into, like the hood classics, you know, Menace, Belly, Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
That's the type of stuff that I'm into, so.
Wow. And I love that you're a true collector in that these pieces don't necessarily fit you, but they're just a part of you.
Yeah, it's just, you know, when you know it's something you probably will never see again, never have the opportunity to get again, like the size, you know, it's cool. Like, I could live with it, you know.
Yeah.
Get into some more of this stuff. This is
crazy.
There's
something true to a collector that keeps pieces that don't necessarily fit them, especially when they're grails like this, because these things are not easy or cheap to come by. You know what I mean? So to get your hands on them, just to collect them, that shows a true, like, an authentic love for the game. You know what I mean?
I mean, like I said, you know, this is like, those were like cast and crew jackets, so it's literally the only people that got them. So you know, also, like, you really might not see it again, and if you do, they might have an attachment to it that this person didn't have, you know, like, so I was like, okay, he's gonna sell it, I need to go pick this up today. And he sold me those two jackets, and he threw in a free Menace to Society hat. Crazy. This is another piece. This is crazy because this where it's been. My friend Elon, you know Elon?
Yeah, Elon, yeah.
Lost and Found Museum. He actually saw this sitting on eBay one day for the low. I think it was like $80.
Oh yeah, this was a while. Yeah,
this was a long time ago.
He told me the story,
and he bought it, and he sold it. I don't want to blast anybody, but he sold it to for however much money, and then I ended up getting it for super low off of them. But this is actually Books' jacket from Das Effects, Scoob's jacket. So the front, it actually has his name on it. And this is for their debut album. It's crazy. It's almost like a Dapper Dan jacket. Crazy, like leather hood. Like, wow, it's like a nice, like, I don't even know, like. Crazy.
Another Def Jam.
This is crazy right here. So this is a Dapper Dan jacket. It's like real, like, drug dealer shit, like 90, you know. Never found out who 90 was yet. Still doing my research, but this is crazy.
Yeah, it's dope.
So, MCM with the 90 print and MCM Dapper Dan pants. Crazy.
So do you think these are actually? So are these actually made by him?
These are made by Dapper Dan. Yeah. These two Nike joints, crazy. Someone commented on my post. Yeah, that was the Easter flow.
Yeah.
They will break these out on Easter. The crazy Nike joints.
That's crazy.
And then I seen like videos on like Yo MTV Raps, like people wearing this with like the crazy like jacket with the Nike, the big Nike. Let's see. I also got these over here. These ones are a little crazier, you know. Crazy print on them. Got the super fresh.
Like the knee. Did the other ones have the knee?
Nah, they didn't have the knee joints. So these got like the knee. It's crazy.
Yeah, those are sick.
Boom. And then right here, this is the jewel though. Like this is the one that like it actually fits me because these all belong to what I believe. This one for sure. I haven't confirmed those yet. Members of the E-Port Posse, which was a drug ring in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So they were young. They were like teenagers.
Yeah.
And they were getting money. It was like $1 million operation, you know. So this one right here belonged to the leader of the E-Port Posse, Bilal Pretlow. Crazy.
Wow.
MCM print. And if you look close, it actually has his name right there, but they cut it out. It said Bilal right there. That's how I know it was his.
Oh, just like the 90 one. Yeah, the 90 one had the name in that box right there too. Yeah, so you can see it. That's crazy.
And then this right here is a picture I found of Bilal wearing it with his homies. Sean Hartwell right there. Crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite finds. It fits me. I'm not the type of dude to wear something like this, but I'll probably bust it out one day.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Like at your wedding or something?
Who knows? I might just hit Melrose with it one day. This KRS-One jacket. This jacket actually belonged to KRS-One. This was his personal jacket.
Wow.
And I was leaving my homie's house, who I got the CNN shirt from. And like I said, you know, I bought the shirt off of him the 1 month I went, and he actually sold it to me. But There was many months where I didn't buy anything off of him. I would just go, say what up to him, talk to him for hours, and then he would just like never sell me anything. I'd be like, all right, man, I'm out. One day I was at his house till like 11:30 at night. And I was like, all right, yo, I'm gonna head out, peace. I start crossing the street. I was gonna go get some pizza. As soon as I cross the street, I see someone wearing this, and I just see the Jive Records logo because it's like a gold stitch. And there's like the light from like the street lights.
Just shining on
it. It just shined on me real quick. And I was walking across the street, and I'm all like, oh shit, double take. And I turned around. I started following him. I was like, yo, yo, yo. And I caught him at like the red light. I was like, yo, man, that jacket's crazy. And it was windy as hell.
Yeah.
It was super windy. So that's why he was wearing it, because it was cold as fuck. And I was like, yo, you got it. I was like, yo, would you sell me that jacket? And he's like, oh, nah, I can't sell it. I was like, all right, no doubt. I was like, peace. And I was like, oh, actually, can I get a picture of it? I was going to just put it on my Instagram. Like, yo, look at this KRS-One jacket. He's like, oh, yeah, go ahead, get a picture of it. I was like, all right, Joe, good looking out. I said, peace. And he called me back. He's like, hey, yo, actually, he's all like, it's not my jacket. He's all like, it's my homie's jacket. He's like, he just let me wear it because it's cold.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, shit, it's your homie's jacket. He's like, yeah, actually, let me get your number. He's all like, and you know, if he wants to sell it, I'll ask him. If he wants to sell it, you know, I'll let you know, whatever. So boom, I bought it. I mean, boom, he gave me his number, and then like a few days go by, and he was all like, yeah, I'm down to sell it. So I pulled up to his house. We started talking numbers, and it was like a cheap price. It was probably like $200.
Yeah.
And he told me, he was like, yeah, I was actually at a Raekwon gig, and KRS-One was there. We started talking. I told him I was like a big fan and everything, and he just took it off and gave it to me. He's like, to my surprise, and then, you know, now I have it, you know.
Wow.
It's crazy. Super simple. You know, it's just like green, kind of like suede, the leather.
Yeah.
BMG Entertainment.
Yeah.
KRS-One. Yeah. Crazy.
I love the story that goes with all these pieces too. Like this one, KRS took it off his back. The other one, crazy, you got the picture to go with it. You know what I mean? It's dope.
Right. This right here. So I got this from my homie who did the War Report album. And like I said, I got 2 or 3 pieces off him that I'll probably never sell. And this is one of them. This is the Intelligent Hoodlum hoodie. So if people don't know who Intelligent Hoodlum is, it's Tragedy Gaddafi's early alias. When he was rapping like early 90s, you know, Juice Crew era. In the back says Tragedy Saga of a Hoodlum. And it's crazy because my homie told me this is the first project he ever worked on. He ever did promo for. So he was working at Tough Break Records when they were putting this album out. So he would run into Traj. He has a bunch of like Traj demo tapes and stuff. Like this right here is like impossible to find. Like this is one of the rarest things I ever seen. Like one of my favorite rappers.
So you're going crazy over this one. Like what's this? Like what?
I mean, I know who Intelligent Hoodlum is, but I didn't know about I didn't know that was Tragedy and shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was merch for that.
I mean, that's the thing. Nobody knows there was merch for that. You know, like that's stuff that we keep under wraps. You know, this wild. Right here is my favorite piece that I own. Period. Yeah. You know, Nas Illmatic hoodie. Super rare. You know, you got this if you worked. You know, you were high up at Columbia Records, or if you worked on the album or something. Yeah. And it's funny because I actually got a friend who was interning for Faith Newman at the time. So he was in the Columbia offices. He wasn't supposed to get one though. Yeah. Because like I said, it was like for the higher ups and people that worked on the album. So like Pete Rock would get one. You know, LES would get one, stuff like that. And he said when these came in, like Nas is already popping because, you know, he got Live at the Barbecue. He got the 92 joints halftime, you know. So he was already popping. People already knew who he was and stuff. And when these hoodies came in, his boy was about to get fired from Columbia Records. And he was all like, hey, yo, he told my homie, like, yo, like these Nas hoodies just came in, like they fire. Like, he's like, yo, so I watch my back, I'm gonna go get a couple. So it was only 2 boxes of these that my homies told me. There's only 2 boxes made. So his homie went and stole 8 of them. So it's 2 boxes minus 8 that were floating around the Columbia offices at the time. So this is like super rare. When I found this, I knew like, I was like, yeah, for sure, I'm going to just pay whatever it is and then not worry about it, sell some wax shit, and then keep this forever, you know? Yeah. The back. Illmatic.
Amazing condition, too. Like, I noticed nothing here is distressed, really, at all, actually. Probably like that Dipset one.
I mean, I definitely had, like, a bunch of distressed tees, but it's not my style. I'm not going to wear it. So that's the stuff I always sell. Like, for me, personally, like, if I don't like it or if I don't have, like, a connection to it, like, I don't need it. Yeah. I'm not going to hold on to anything because, like, the graphics cool or because, you know, it's rare or whatever. Like, I know if it's like a cool band tee or whatever, like I'm gonna just sell it immediately. Like I have no use for it personally, you know.
Right. Yeah, because I was thinking for a sec, I was like, do hip hop collectors just really take care of their shit and only like rockers beat their shirts up? But so you've had some hip hop tees that were like pretty thrashed
I've
up.
had some fucked up shirts, yeah, definitely. I had a Tribe Called Quest shirt that was like hanging by the thread, like, and like I sold it immediately. Like I was like, I don't even want this in my house, like, so fucked up. Like,
all right, for sure.
I bought this from the Rose Bowl flea market years ago. I was in high school, and at the time I was taking like $60 to the flea market because I literally worked one day out of the week. And I was like one of the only kids that had a job at my school, so that was like $60 was a lot of money, you know. Like I took it to the flea market every month, and I would buy like, I would come back, I don't know how I did it, come back with like a bag full of stuff, like 10 pieces, like jackets, t-shirts. And this is like the first thing I ever paid up for, ever. I saw it and I was like, dang, this was the game changer. It was downhill after this. After I bought this, like, it was over.
This was
and I actually didn't know what dry rot was at the time, but this had dry rot, and like the bag blew out. Like I wore it for like a year.
Yeah.
But like I guess it was a small hole and it probably got fucked up in the washer or something. But yeah, I just kept it. It was sentimental. It was like the first thing I ever splurged on in the vintage world, you know, like.
Yeah. So you, right now that I see this Kanye piece right here.
Right.
So you did the Kanye West installation, and so that came about, and then you also did like a piece for Def Jam, like they did like a video on you and all that. So like tell us about that. What was that? How did that get started?
How did the video get started?
Yeah.
Basically I had my homie who works at Def Jam. He does the promotions and does marketing and stuff. He came over to my shop, to where I work at. And he wanted to buy some shirts. He collects stuff like this also. And I told him, I was like, yo, I'll just bring you a bunch of stuff. Like, what's your style? You know, like, what are you looking for? I got a bunch of stuff. And he was kind of telling me, like, you know, oh, I'm into like this, and that. And I was like, oh, shit, like, that's the same stuff I'm into, you know? So I just bought him like maybe like 60 t-shirts. And he just looked through all of them. He's like, yo, this is like, it's super impressive. And he bought a Kanye West t-shirt. And from there, super randomly, because I was planning the Kanye West event, but I never put a date or nothing on it. I just kept pushing it back because I'm kind of like a perfectionist, you know. So like, I kept pushing it back, and I was like, it's gonna happen. Push it back another month, you know. And I had all those shirts in the back of the store where I work at, like a big crate like this, just filled with Kanye West stuff. And I told him, I was like, yo, like if you like Kanye West stuff, like I got a whole like bin in the back filled with Kanye West merch. I was planning on doing this event, and me just telling him about it, and him seeing like my style, and we had similar styles. I think he kind of just like, he saw what I was doing. He's like, yo, like if you want, like if you could put a date on this event, like next month or something. So yo, we could like get a whole crew, we could film it, you know, like Def Jam could cover it. And I was like, yo, you serious? Like it's done, like let's do it, you know. So that's why the event, like it happened so quick. Like I was pushing it back forever, and then boom, there's a date. I was like, all right, now it's go time. I'm just, you know, kind of rushing it now. And that's why the Kanye event was kind of like, not smaller, I would say, but like definitely like the Nas event was like a whole room, you know. It was a walk around, and then opposed to the Kanye event, it's kind of just like a one wall thing, you know.
Yeah.
But it was still dope. It had a great turnout.
Yeah, it was good. I remember.
Yeah.
I thought it was really dope. And so so Def Jam came through, and they did like a whole little segment on you and stuff.
Right.
That must have been exciting.
It was super cool. Yeah, it was surreal, you know. Super surreal.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. We're definitely moving forward. Like I said, I always want the next installation to be bigger, so got a few new ideas and stuff. But I really wanted to do a Mobb Deep event next year, and I really might do the War Report, thinking about it. The only thing is, the War Report, I know it's not that big of a, you know, not as big of a fan base as like a Mobb Deep, Nas, even like Kanye West. But I feel like the people that would go to it would really appreciate it. So it's something that we got, it's in the air, you know, we're thinking about it. And then if anything else pops up, you know, I'm trying to do some more stuff by the end of this year, you know. Like I said, those are the plans for next year. If something pops up, I'd love to get it done, you know. So this is 50 Cent. It's actually his first album. The Power of the Dollar, yeah.
So what year was this album right
So
here?
this album was this shirt is from 1999.
Yeah.
So it's actually a 90s 50 Cent shirt.
Yes.
And this was, so 50 Cent, for people that don't know, he had a whole album that was gonna get released called Power of the Dollar.
Power of the Dollar.
And it's crazy. Like, people compare it to Illmatic. Like, it's crazy.
It's a nutty album.
It's nutty.
And you can't find it. It's so hard to find it, like to play it.
And it's bars, like it's fire.
Crazy production. The production on that album is more New York shit. Cause like, I feel like the first debut album that everybody knows him for has like, you know, it's a lot of Dr. Dre production, so it's got kind of like a West Coast feel to it too.
Yeah.
But this album right here is straight New York.
This is straight Queens, Southside Jamaica, Queens sound like. So this is crazy because his album was set to release in '99, but then he got shot, of course.
Yeah.
And then the whole Ja Rule thing. So he actually got pushed back like until he fully recovered, and then he dropped Get Rich or Die Trying in like '03, I think, right?
Yeah.
So this is crazy. It's like that this shirt even exists, and I really was like kind of skeptical on it even being like a thing, you know. And then I saw, like, if you see I believe it's Murder, like the Ja Rule diss on the music video, you could see them wearing the blue one, and I have the blue one somewhere, so oh yeah, it's official.
Yeah. Wow.
It's crazy, yeah.
I think this is, I'm going to say, this might be, you got so much crazy shit, but for me personally, this piece right here, because I love this album, and I had it on a CD, because like back then we used to just have like burn CDs, MP3 CDs that we would just put all our new shit on. And I remember I used to play this one nonstop. I love this album. It's my favorite 50 Cent album.
It's a blue joint.
And you have the T of it. That's so crazy. Does this one have Power of the Dollar? So wild. Yeah. So this right here.
Yeah, this right here. When I posted it on Instagram, I thought people were gonna bug out.
They
like,
don't know.
I was like, yo, this is gonna be like one of the top posts I ever did, and like, it got no. I was like, all right, shit. If they don't know, you don't gotta, you know. You can.
I don't blame them for not knowing, because like a lot of music for any artist, you could just go on YouTube. This album right here, though, was just so hard to find.
If anybody hasn't heard this, it's on YouTube. You can find the whole album. It's definitely, you should listen to it. It's a must listen.
It's great.
It's so good.
So different from all his other stuff. He doesn't have like the speech impediment yet because he's not shot yet. Yeah, really good.
Crazy.
Such a good album.
Let's see. I think that's. I mean, all this stuff on the wall it's on the wall for a reason, you know. Like, this is the stuff that I listen to, this stuff that inspires me, you know. So and then as far as all the one-offs, you know, I just think it's cool to just have something like that no one else has. It tells its own story, you know, without you having to tell it. So what's next for me is probably, you know, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing as far as installations go. I mean, it's always been my kind of dream to have a store, but I don't think that's anything in the near future, you know, maybe like 5, 10 years from now, you know. I could think about when I was younger, it was always like I wanted to have a sneaker store, but then that kind of died for me, you know, like I'm not even into sneakers no more. So we'll see where it takes me, you know. For now, I'm just trying to focus on installations, make sure that those are all good, and, you know, just see the opportunities as they arise, you know.